Hi, this is Bonnie Gray. Welcome to a third week on our 40-day journey of Whispers of Rest. I brought you to a very special place. We're here in the Saratoga Mountains in California. This is, in fact, the very place where I saw my first redwood tree. It's amazing. I was only in 5th grade and we were on our way to science camp. The moment I stepped off the big yellow school bus, I could hear the silence. You can even hear it now. And in the silence, I heard what you're listening to today. The sound of water, fresh water trickling down a path which has been carved by the season in which it's been placed. I think it's a wonderful place for us to talk about dreams. Our third week is about dreaming as the beloved. It's time, as we make our way to becoming the beloved, to reawaken our dreams. Every day there are so many things to do. That checklist is often what drives our daily schedule. And the minute we look at that checklist, we don't think about anything like birds and trees and water and dreams, much less what our longings are. But God never forgets. God is always at a place inside each of us where it's quiet, tender, and intimate, where we dream dreams. And so this week, as you step into different parts of your soul and try to remember what it felt like to long for something and to be inspired to express your heart for a seed that God may have planted in you. I think that's what the psalmist felt when he was in touch with beauty and the sound of water. He says, "My soul thirsts for you. My whole being longs for you in a dry and weary land." Psalm 63:1. As we're here by this refreshing water, I also think about Psalm chapter 1. It says that, "Blessed is the man whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He's like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaves do not wither. Whatever he does prospers." And in fact, I love the word fruit. It yields fruit in season. And I think that dreams are like that. That when God plants a seed on your heart, maybe it's at a different time in your life and you might have given up on it or put it to the side. But God remembers he plants it there. And you and I do too. Whenever we take time out to be in touch with things that are beautiful, that nourish our soul, you'll start awakening to your dreams again. So don't be discouraged. You may be at different parts of your journey in your dreams. And just because the flowers may have bloomed at one point, you thought, this is it, my dreams are coming true. Whether it be a job, a relationship, a baby, a family, or maybe a ministry or art that you want to express. And yet it didn't quite turn out the way you had expected or hoped. Well, God says, don't give up, because fruit will be yielded in its season. In Proverbs chapter 13:12, we hear through God's whispers, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life." There it is again, this beautiful poetic metaphor of trees. Now, some of you also may be thinking, well, you know, I thought this was the direction God wanted me to go and I got burned once. I don't want to do that again. God says, your ears will hear a word behind you. This is the way, walk in it, whether you turn to the right or to the left. And he will give you rain for the seed which you will sow in the ground, and bread from the yield of the ground, and it will be rich and plenteous. I love that. To the right or to the left, I think it's saying that it's one step at a time. I know for me, I want to know what's the end result. If I take this one step, what is it going to lead to? It's really self-protection. And I think that's why many times we don't want to dream. It feels safer if we don't hope at all, we don't dream at all, then we won't be disappointed. We won't experience loss. But again, God knows the way He's made us, He's put seeds, planted them. And so we need to take one step, just one step. As we go through this journey, we will become changed, and every step we will come alive in our soul. We're going to pause now. We're going to reflect on what God may be whispering to you even at this very moment as you're listening to the water, to the birds, in the safety of the shade of the redwood trees. Let's reflect and listen. Wow, didn't that feel so refreshing? All it takes is just a few minutes. And it's wonderful because our theme verse this week is, "Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin," in Zechariah 4:10. Something small, God can use to grow something big. Madame Guyon, in her classic book, Exploring the Depths of Jesus Christ, has shared with us. She says, "Praying the scripture, read a small portion very slowly. Don't move from one passage to another until you sense the very heart of what you've read." This is kind of the rhythm that we've been doing, just listening for one word whispers as God plants it on our heart each day. That's called praying the scriptures. Another prayer practice, which is very beautiful, is contemplative prayer. And it doesn't require any analysis or thinking, which reflection might do. So guess what? This is tied to our soul care practice and challenge this week, which I love and I think everyone can do at any time. It's spend some time looking at a tree. Being in front of the tree immediately lowers our blood pressure, steadies our heartbeat, and just releases us from a lot of our stress. And not only that, I want to leave you with this. Fruit is a natural de-stressor. The vitamin C has antioxidants in strawberries especially, and raspberries and blackberries. So this week when you take a bite of that apple or enjoy that yummy strawberry, remember, fruit goes through many different seasons, and God, when He looked into your soul, He planted a fruit of a dream in your heart as well, and it's going to blossom. I want you to share now, as we end our time together with your friends or with me, Which of these soul care practices or prayer practices do you feel are speaking to you? I'd love to encourage you to rest and refresh as you dream as a beloved this week. Remember that you're cherished, you're loved, and you're worth it. Just rest.